Hello stamping friends, welcome to this week's video here at Magnolia's Place. I'm Carole Parsons, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in South Carolina. And I post videos on Mondays, sometimes a regular tutorial and sometimes a mystery stamping event. So this week we're doing a regular tutorial and we're going to do another bookmark card. And I was just curious to see who all had done bookmark cards that were Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. Look at this list. I was going to give credit to some of the ones but I found them all over the place, not just one person's blog. Lisa Bernard, Jeannie Stark, Sharon Armstrong, Barbara Greenlee, Cindy Brombaugh, Lisa Faust, Connie Stewart, Lisa Crucio, Jackie Beers, Karen Titus, Mary Fish, and I think there were more. I probably ran out of paper. So, not any original ideas, but I was trying to remember this time to write down where I saw things. And I've seen this one on multiple blogs. So, this has a front bookmark, and on this one I just wrote a lovely friend sentiment, and this came from, I think it was Unbounded Love. Wait a minute, I wrote it down on the tutorial. No, I didn't. Okay, hang on. I'm pretty sure from Unbounded Love. Where would I be with it? Nope. There are some great friendship. I love the stamp set, by the way, but that wasn't it. Okay, how about, aha, special moments. This is it. Yes. Right? Yep, there it is. Special moments. This is retired. It was a celebrations earlier this year. So that's where that came from. But the one that I'm going to make with you today, I'm going to do as a thank you for customers. Because I think giving them a bookmark is a great idea. And then the inside's just a regular card. But I love bookmark cards. What a neat gift. Maybe because I'm such an avid reader, I don't know. But I just like them. So this time we're going to use the Gallery Blooms again, but we'll do different papers. So we've got the Gallery Blooms stamp set, and we're going to use the Designer Series paper that is Beautiful Gallery. Same Designer Series paper, but it's a different pattern. And we're also going to use the sentiments from Textured Notes. This is an online exclusive, and we're going to use the thank you and a little note of appreciation. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think we might use some of these this time too. The pressed flower motifs. I love these little things. I'd have to get another pack. Look at all I've used. Yeah. All right. So let's get started. I will put a link to my blog on the description box below, and you'll be able to download the free PDF tutorial there. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, the ribbon. This is the basic beige. How wide was this? I didn't write it down, did I? I said 1/4 inch. Yeah, it looks like about a 1/4 inch. Basic beige ribbon. That's what I wrote down. And I'm using a 1/8 inch hole punch. You can use whatever you like. We have a trio, trio hole punch. No, hole punch assortment. That's what it's called, I think. And it's out of stock right now. It's coming back in, is it next week? Soon. Anyway. I really want that because there's like 3 different hole punchy things, and I do lots of bookmarks and fun stuff. So, but in the meantime, I'm using my 1/8 inch hole punch. So you can do either as well. Let's see. Anything else I need to tell you? No, okay. We can get going. So our card base is going to be Mossy Meadow because I liked that best. I looked at it with Early Espresso, which is very pretty as well, but I think I like this better. I just wanted some more color. I didn't want it to be too subdued, if that makes sense. So I cut this as usual. This is 8.5 inches by 5.5, and I scored at 4 1/4. And again, all these measurements will be in the tutorial on my blog. And then, you know, I really wrestled with the orientation of this paper because usually I think this is the right way. But I wanted, you know, if you do this, look, and you're cutting it 4 inches wide to fit on here, then you're cutting off most of that, and you have all this dead space in the center. And so then I looked at it this way, and it was kind of the same thing. Then I looked at it like this, and I thought, oh, I'm liking that better. And I kept thinking, but you know, they're roses, and we have roses growing all over the place on our farm. And they don't grow in a particular orientation. They grow all over the ways. So I decided to take artistic license and do it like this. I think that looks very nice. So this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, which is the traditional size for the first layer on a card. And let's go ahead and attach that right now. And I'm using seal, Stampin' Seal, but you could use glue. Lots of different adhesives we have. Oh, I sound like that Star Wars character. What was this, Jar Jar Binks? Okay. That looks very nice. And then I had a great idea about this because I liked both sides. And I still don't know what would look best in there. So, and it's a bookmark, right? Shouldn't both sides be pretty? So let's put some paper on both sides of our bookmark. Now, the bookmark is, here it is, 2 by 5 inches. And then the DSP to cover it is 1 7/8 by 4 7/8. So 2 by 5 and 1 7/8 by 4 7/8. So let's go ahead and adhere those. This is a quick, easy, well, I think so, card. And it makes such a nice gift. Lots of people in my life like to read, not just me. I love to read. How about you? Do y'all like to read? There. I was laughing at my son. He's in his 40s, just turned 40 as a matter of fact. And I was telling him something over the phone, kind of science related. And as usual, I didn't get the first half of the sentence out of my mouth. And he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how do you know this stuff? He says, Mom, seriously? You taught me to love to read when I was in the womb. Of course I still read. I know lots of stuff, lots of things. He said it much more eloquently than that, but okay. So look, this goes either way. I think I'm gonna like this way better. You know why? Because I chose this, at least I think this is gonna be the little belly band that you attach. We've got some choices we can make here. We could do this. All right, let's just take a look at it. We'll kind of do a dry fit. Okay, so we could do this, which looks very nice. We could do this, which I don't like as well, but it looks okay. And then on the other side, yeah, I'm not liking that. All right, you know what? I like this best. And that doesn't really have an orientation, so those flowers could be either way. I think I want them this way. All right, so I'm gonna punch my hole up there. Now, I wrote a note to myself. This is 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch, isn't it? Hang on, I'm looking here. Oh, shoot. I'm probably looking right at it. Belly band, there it is. Yes, 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. And I wrote a note to myself on there. I eyeballed it, and this time I wanted to measure. And by the time you put this in, you want to put your adhesive right here. So that is 3/4 of an inch. Yep. Ooh, maybe a little more. Ooh, let's do a little more. Because I wrote down 3/4 of an inch. Let's do 7/8 of an inch. From each side. Yeah, let's do that. So it'll be nice and tight. So, oh, I need that out. What we're going to do on the wrong side of the paper, let's put our ruler down and make a little mark at 7/8 of an inch. And on the other side, at 7/8 of an inch. And you could use Stampin' Seal, but I want to be more precise than I think I could get with that. So I think I would like to use some tear and tape. Oh, and I keep forgetting I've got one I've got to use up. Let's use up the rest of this. Okay. And I'll put 2 pieces there. So we'll have this nice and secure. Now, a lot of people I see cutting this, which is fine. I'm just in too much of a hurry, so I won't cut it. I always tear it. I must be the one they named it for, tear and tape. All right, and then we're going to take it off, which I probably should have grabbed my take your pick tool, but see how that rolls off the edge? All you have to do is just tuck it under, if that happens. So, there we go. We are still experiencing cooler than average weather for us here in South Carolina in August, and we are loving it. I told you the other day it was still cool, and oh, I'm so happy to hear that. All right, it doesn't really matter where you place this. You could put it right in the middle, but that feels not right. It feels off to me. Artistic, you want to be not in the middle exactly, and you want odd numbers. Okay, so now this should, cross your fingers, oh, perfect. 7/8 of an inch, that was it. Perfect. 7/8 of an inch from each end. That's how far in we put the adhesive. So now, let's go ahead and, oops, that's not the right pair of scissors up there. These are the scissors that go there, I think. Huh. Yeah. Nosed scissors. You ever have one of those moments? My sharpest scissors are supposed to be on the desktop. Okay. I've been working in here all afternoon, and I'm a little brain sprung. There we go. Nice 1/4 of an inch. And if you have seen it, this seen me do bookmarks before. I've told you about this. This is a yarn or ribbon threader, and when I got it, it's fastened at this end. I don't know why, because that's not how I use it, so I just cut it off. Anyways, this normally would be too thick to go through a 1/8 inch hole, right? But with this cute little gizmo, And you could just use a piece of ribbon. I mean, wire, right? Real thin wire, just bend it. But I happen to already have this, so I made it work for me. You want to come in from the front and then push your two little tails up through the loop. Oh, I can hear my dog Tesla. She's very subtly making noises to me on the other side of the door. Mommy, it's time to go outside. What are you doing? That dog has an internal alarm clock. There we go. She knows. It is past time to go outside, Mom. And the same thing here. I don't like to have both of those tails cut at the same length. So I'm going to cut one there. And I'm going to cut the other one the other way. A little bit taller. There. Okay. Perfect. Now let's just be sure. What do you think? Do you like this on the front or this on the front? I really think they both look nice, but I like this one better. This way. And you know what? Oh, no, because I was thinking you could stamp right on this because it's kind of a blank color, but I think I like that. As a matter of fact, what about popping it up with dimensionals? Yeah, let's do that. That would be fun. We can use some of these end pieces. And did you know that you can just tear those? I use these little end pieces a lot. There we go. And I've got ink all over my fingers. You can tell I've spent the day in here. Looking outdoors at the big old magnolia tree in my yard. Hence the name Magnolia's Place, my favorite tree. Okay, and what I did with this greeting, I stamped it on very vanilla. And then I took it over to the paper trimmer and trimmed it very close. So I knew that it would extend beyond the edges just a little, and that's fine. Oh, I like that. All right, and make sure I've got that adhered well. Yeah, okay. Nope, you know what? Maybe I'm off kilter just a little. Let's see if I can get this off. Oh, yay! All right, let's try that again. We must be on kilter, not off kilter. Okay. That is perfecto. There we go. All right, now inside. We're almost done. Look how quick and easy this one was. So I've got another piece of very vanilla cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And we will adhere that right there. And I've got a piece of scrap that I thought would look nice on the bottom. Oh, but you know what? Before we do that, let's stamp this. I'm interested in using this flower from the Gallery Blooms stamp set. And to me, since we've already got some flowers on the front that are in Early Espresso, let's do these flowers. Yeah, they would be more likely to be Early Espresso than a green flower. Says the lady who always works outside the box. Takes artistic license wherever she can. All right, so I'm going to do one full strength, come down and over and stamp off a bit. I love that look. Okay, that stamp clean. And let's use the Mossy Meadow for the sentiment. which says a little note of appreciation. Very nice. Now we can put this right there. Yep, I'm gonna like that. Okay. And this piece of paper doesn't really have an orientation, I don't think. Oh, I like that. Very nice. What do you think? Wonderful little gift to give somebody. Yeah. All right, that's it. Quick and easy project this week. Thanks for popping by, visiting Magnolia's Place, and please do me a favor. If you liked my video at all, please give me a like and subscribe. When you do that, it causes the search engines on Google to find my video channel, my YouTube channel, more often, and it will send out to more people searching for rubber stamping and Stampin' Up and all that good stuff. So I would really appreciate it. Just click the little bell, click like. That would be awesome. Plus, you know what? It also notifies you when I post another video. So that's a good thing, right? Okay. Well, have a great week. Happy summer. Bye.